Welcome to the place where your past doesn't define you, where your scars are not chains but lessons, and where dreams are born, even if you start small. This is more than just a channel. It's a movement to remind you that failure is not final, that every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. Here, we believe in discipline over regret, because the sweat you give today builds the freedom you'll enjoy tomorrow. We believe that faith is your foundation, the voice that says you're just getting started when the world calls you finished. And above all, we believe your future is waiting. So stop staring at the closed doors of yesterday and walk boldly into tomorrow. If you're ready for motivation that shakes you, lifts you, and pushes you toward greatness, you're in the right place. Let's rise together. Failure is not final. Let me say that again so it sinks in. Failure is not final. Falling down is part of life, but staying down is a choice. Too many people confuse a fall with the finish line. They think one mistake, one bad decision, one heartbreak, one setback defines their entire story. But hear me when I tell you this: the fall is not the end. The fall is simply an invitation to rise stronger than you ever thought you could. Every single one of us will stumble. Every single one of us will fail. If you haven't failed yet, just wait. Life will give you that test, and when it does, the question is not, did you fall? The question is, what did you do after you hit the ground? Because the difference between those who live defeated and those who live victorious isn't that one never fell. It's that one refused to stay down. Think about a child learning to walk. They stumble, they trip, they hit the floor. Nobody looks at that child and says, well, I guess walking just isn't for you. No, you cheer them on, you help them up, you say, try again. And before long, those wobbly steps turn into confident strides. That's life. Falling is how we learn balance. Failure is how we find strength. But the older we get, the more we let fear whisper lies into our ear. Fear says, you failed once, you'll fail again. Fear says, why even try? Fear tells you to stay down, to give up, to quit before you embarrass yourself. But let me remind you, fear is a liar. And if you let it, fear will bury your future while you're still alive. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history were born out of failure. Light bulbs, airplanes, cures, revolutions. They all came from people who refused to let failure write the last page of their story. They understood something powerful. Failure is a comma, not a period. It's a pause in your journey, not the end of your book. And maybe you've fallen hard. Maybe you've made choices that cost you relationships, opportunities, time you can't get back. Maybe your past looks like a trail of broken pieces. I know what that feels like, but let me speak life into you right now. Your past is not a prophecy. Your mistakes are not a mirror of your destiny. Failure can bruise you, but it cannot define you unless you give it permission. You've got to decide that your story is still being written. Decide that your best chapter is ahead, not behind. Decide that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise again. And when you rise wiser. You rise tougher. You rise with scars that remind you not of shame, but of survival. There's a difference between failing and quitting. Failing means you tried and it didn't work. Quitting means you never gave yourself another chance. As long as you are breathing, you have another chance. As long as you wake up in the morning, you've been given another opportunity to stand back up and move forward. So the question is, will you take it? Or will you let failure convince you that your story is already over? Don't let it. Refuse to let your last mistake be your last chapter. Life is too precious, your calling is too great, and your future is too important to waste on the ground. Get up when you're tired, get up when you're scared, get up when you don't feel like it. Get up when nobody is cheering for you. Because when you get up, you prove to yourself, to the world, and to life itself that you are bigger than your fall. Failure is not final. Falling down is part of life, but staying down is a choice. Scars are proof of survival. They are not something to be ashamed of, they are something to be honored. Every scar on your body, every scar in your heart, every scar in your mind tells a story. It tells the world, I went through something and I came out the other side. Too often we treat scars like stains, like reminders of what went wrong. But scars don't show weakness, scars show healing. They show that the wound didn't win. See, when life cuts you, when betrayal slices deep, when failure leaves its mark, you can either let that pain chain you to your past, or you can let that scar remind you that you're still here. And being here means you're not finished yet. A scar is not a chain holding you back. It's a sign that the wound closed, that you survived it, and that you're stronger because of it. People want to hide their scars, cover them up, pretend they never existed. But let me tell you something. Your scars are proof that you endured, and if you endured, then you overcame. You see, those scars, those marks of pain, they're lessons, they're teachers. They remind you of what you had to fight through, of what you learned when you thought you couldn't take one more step, but you did anyway. Some of you carry scars that nobody can see. Scars of rejection, scars of failure, scars of broken families, broken trust, broken dream. And maybe you've convinced yourself that those scars disqualify you, that those scars mean you're not worthy, not good enough, not capable of building a future. But that's a lie. Those scars don't disqualify you. They qualify you. They show that you have been tested, and you're still standing. Think about a warrior. When you see scars across their body, you don't look at them as weak. You look at them as seasoned, as experienced, as dangerous. The scars don't take away from their strength, they prove it. They're a living testimony that the battle tried to take them out, but it failed. That's you. You are living proof that what tried to destroy you couldn't finish the job. The truth is, the scars you carry can either hold you prisoner or they can set you free. It all depends on how you see them. If you look at your scars as chains, you'll keep dragging them with you, weighted down by regret, by shame, by fear of repeating the past. But if you look at those scars as lessons, they will become stepping stones. They will guide your steps. They will make you wiser. They will remind you not to go back to what broke you. There's beauty in a scar, not in the pain it took to get it, but in the story it tells. A story that says, I've been through the fire, but the fire didn't consume me. A story that says, yes, I was broken, but I was not destroyed. A story that says, you can't scare me with storms. I've already survived hurricanes. So stop hiding your scars. Stop wishing they would disappear. Start embracing them for what they are. Evidence that you're still alive, evidence that you're still fighting, evidence that you're still capable of more. They're not a mark of shame, they're a badge of honor. And here's the powerful thing. Your scars can become someone else's survival guide. What you went through and came out of, somebody else is facing right now. When they see your scars, when they hear your story, when they realize you made it out, you give them hope that they can make it too. Your scars aren't just for you. They're for the people you're meant to inspire, the people you're meant to lift, the people who need to know that survival is possible. Yes, your scars hurt when you got them. Yes, they came with pain, with nights you thought you wouldn't make it, with tears nobody saw. But look at you now, you made it, you're breathing, you're moving, you're still standing, and that means your scars are not the end of your story. They're just the beginning of your strength. Scars are proof of survival. Your past struggles are not chains, they are lessons. Dream big, even when you start small. That's the message I want you to hold on to, because too many people kill their own destiny before it even begins. They look at where they are right now, the little they have, the small corner they're standing in, and they think, this is all I'll ever be. But greatness doesn't come out of comfort. It's not born from having everything lined up perfectly. Greatness comes from the struggle, from the grind, from the days when nobody is clapping for you. when nobody is watching, when nobody even believes you can make it. Every giant dream started small. Every empire began as a seed. Every success story was once a story of doubt, of rejection, of people laughing and saying, "You'll never get there." And yet, that's the beauty of dreaming big. You don't need everyone to believe in your dream. You just need to believe in it yourself. The truth is, most people want comfort. They want things easy. They want the path smooth. They want the applause before the effort. But comfort doesn't build character. Comfort doesn't sharpen you. Comfort doesn't prepare you for the weight of your destiny. Struggle does. Pressure does. Rejection does. The nights you cry yourself to sleep but still get up in the morning and push forward, those are the moments that shape you. Those are the moments that make the dream worth having. You can't despise the days of small beginnings. Everybody wants to be great, but nobody wants to start where greatness begins, at the bottom. Let me remind you, every tree you see stretching into the sky was once just a tiny seed buried in dirt. It had to push through darkness. It had to break through the ground. It had to fight against wind and rain and storms before it could ever stand tall. That's you. You may feel small now. You may feel hidden now. You may feel buried now. But don't confuse being buried with being planted. If you've been planted, growth is coming. Dreams are tested in the small places. They're tested when no one knows your name, when no one is calling your phone, when no one is giving you opportunities. That's where the foundation is built. Because if you can't stay faithful in the small, you won't be ready when the big comes. The struggle is not your enemy. It's your training ground. Think about this. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. If you only do what feels safe, what feels easy, what feels familiar, you will never discover what's possible. You've got to be willing to step out even if it's shaky. You've got to be willing to risk being laughed at, being underestimated, being overlooked. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will be the same people who tell your story. It doesn't matter if you're working 2 jobs right now, if you're studying in a small room, if you're chasing your goals with nothing but a notebook and a vision. What matters is that you don't let the size of your start limit the size of your dream. You don't have to have it all together right now. You just need to move, to act, to start. Too many people never see their future because they're waiting for perfect conditions. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. The perfect time is the moment you decide that your dream matters enough to fight for it. Dreaming big isn't about arrogance, it's about faith. It's about seeing something greater than where you are now and trusting that if you work, if you struggle, if you stay disciplined, that dream can become real. Don't let your current situation trick you into believing that's all there is. Your struggle is shaping you. Your struggle is molding you. Your struggle is equipping you with the strength, the resilience, the discipline to carry the weight of the greatness you're asking for. So yes, start small. Work with what you have, take that small step, make that small move, build from the ground up. But while you do, dream bigger than what you see. Keep your eyes on the vision, not just the reality. Keep your heart on the promise, not just the pain. And when the struggle comes, don't run from it. Embrace it, because greatness is born out of struggle, not comfort. Dream big, even when you start small, because greatness is born out of struggle, not comfort. Discipline over regret. That's the choice every single one of us has to make. It's better to sweat in discipline today than to bleed in regret tomorrow. See, regret is a heavy weight. It doesn't go away when the lights are off. It doesn't disappear when you close your eyes at night. Regret follows you, it whispers to you, it reminds you of what you could have done, what you should have done, what you didn't do because you chose the easy way out. But discipline hurts for a moment, discipline stings in the present, but it rewards you for a lifetime. When you choose discipline, you're telling yourself, I want my future more than I want this comfort. I want my calling more than I want this distraction. I want my destiny more than I want this temporary pleasure. That's not easy. Discipline is never easy. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep, saying no to temptation when it's right in front of you, putting in the hours when nobody's watching. That's hard, but you know what's harder. Waking up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, realizing you wasted time, realizing you had the opportunity but didn't take it, realizing the door was open but you never walked through it because you lacked discipline. Discipline is the price you pay today so you don't live with regret tomorrow. It's the investment you make now that pays dividends in your future. Think about athletes, artists, leaders, visionaries. They don't arrive at greatness by accident. They arrive because day after day they chose discipline over ease. They trained when others quit. They studied when others partied. They focused when others got distracted. Discipline carves the road that leads to destiny. The truth is, life is going to demand a price from you either way. You can pay the price of discipline now, or you can pay the price of regret later. The price of discipline is sweat, sacrifice, discomfort, and effort. The price of regret is pain, guilt, shame, and wasted years you can never get back. Which price would you rather pay? Some of you know the weight of regret already. You look back on missed opportunities, on times you should have spoken up, on moments you should have worked harder, on seasons you wasted because you didn't take them seriously. That regret cuts deeper than any discipline ever could. That regret doesn't just fade away, it lives with you. But discipline, though painful in the moment, sets you free. Discipline creates pride, not shame. Discipline creates freedom, not bondage. Discipline gives you something regret never can, peace. I'm not saying discipline means perfection. Nobody's perfect. But discipline means you keep showing up. Discipline means when you fail, you get back up. Discipline means you keep pushing, even when it hurts, even when it's inconvenient. And every time you choose discipline, you're building a future that you'll be proud of, not one you'll wish you could erase. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not flashy. Nobody celebrates you while you're grinding in the dark. But discipline always shows up in the results. Discipline is the difference between the person who talks about their dreams and the person who lives them. It's the difference between the person who almost did something and the person who actually did. You see, regret is always louder than discipline. Regret screams, discipline whispers. Discipline whispers in the morning, get up, do the work, stay focused. And if you listen, your future will thank you. But if you ignore that whisper, regret will be waiting for you years from now, screaming, why didn't you? And trust me, that voice will haunt you more than the sweat ever could. So what's it going to be? Are you going to give in to laziness, to comfort, to excuses? Or are you going to choose the sweat, the grind, the sacrifice of discipline? Because the truth is, you can't escape the pain. You're either going to feel the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One pain builds you, the other breaks you. One pain is temporary, the other lasts forever. Make the choice now. Choose discipline. Because if you sweat in discipline today, you won't bleed in regret tomorrow. Faith is your foundation. Without it, the storms of life will knock you down and keep you there. With it, you can lose everything and still rise again. When the world says you're finished, faith says you're just getting started. That's the power of faith. It sees beyond the present moment. It sees beyond the failure, beyond the rejection, beyond the pain, and it whispers, this is not the end, there is more for you. Life will test you. It will strip you of things you thought you couldn't live without. It will close doors you thought were meant for you. It will surround you with voices that say you're done, you're not good enough, you're too late, you're too broken. And if all you have is the world's approval, you'll crumble. But if you have faith, you'll stand tall even when everything around you is falling apart. Faith is not built in comfort. Faith is forged in the fire. Some people think faith means everything will go smoothly. No, faith doesn't mean the mountain disappears. Faith means you climb it even when it looks impossible. Faith doesn't mean the storm won't come. Faith means you keep rowing when the waves are crashing over your head because you believe there's land on the other side. Faith doesn't cancel struggle. It carries you through it. When the world says you're finished, when people give up on you, when even your own mind tells you it's over, faith is that still small voice inside that says, "Get up, keep moving, I'm not done with you yet." That voice has carried more men and women out of the pit than talent ever did. Because talent can get you noticed, but faith will keep you going when nobody notices you. Faith is your foundation. Think about a building. You don't start with the roof. You don't start with the wall. You start with the foundation, because if the foundation is weak, everything else will crumble under pressure. Your gifts, your dreams, your success, none of it will last if it's not rooted in something solid. Faith is that solid ground. Faith is what anchors you when life shakes you. Faith is what reminds you that your worth isn't tied to your mistakes, your losses, or your circumstances, but to something deeper that can't be taken away. And I know some of you have been through seasons where it felt like your whole world was collapsing. You've heard voices telling you that you'll never recover, that you'll never rebuild, that it's too late for you. But let me tell you, every time someone says you're finished, that's just proof they don't understand the power of faith. Because faith doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Faith builds in the rubble. Faith dreams in the ashes. Faith sees victory in the middle of the battle. You don't need everybody to believe in you. You don't even need circumstances to look good. All you need is faith, just enough to take the next step, just enough to try one more time, just enough to rise when everything inside of you says stay down. And if you can do that, if you can hold on to faith even when everything around you tells you to let go, then you'll discover that you are far stronger than you ever realized. There will always be critics. There will always be doubters. There will always be setbacks. That's part of life. But faith makes you unshakable. Faith reminds you that the story isn't over, that your past doesn't define your future, and that every no you hear is only pushing you closer to the right yes. Faith doesn't just tell you that you can survive. It tells you that you can thrive. It tells you that what was meant to destroy you will actually develop you. It tells you that the very things you thought were obstacles will one day become the testimony that fuels your destiny. And the moment you truly believe that, the moment you decide that your life is not over just because others think it is, that's the moment you stop existing and start living. So no matter how many voices say you're done, no matter how many doors close, no matter how many times you fall, remember this: faith is your foundation. And when the world says you're finished, faith says you're just getting started. Your future is waiting. It's right in front of you, but too many of us are stuck staring at the closed doors of yesterday. We replay what went wrong, what we lost, who walked away, and what we should have done differently. We spend so much energy looking backward that we miss the opportunities opening up right in front of us. Yesterday is over. You can't edit it, you can't erase it, and you can't relive it. The only thing you can do is learn from it, let it go, and walk boldly into tomorrow. Closed doors are not the end of your story. They are redirection. They're not rejection, they're guidance. Some doors close because they were never meant for you. Some doors close because you outgrew what was behind them. And some doors close simply because there's something greater waiting that you wouldn't have seen if you stayed where you were. So stop crying over what didn't work out. Stop waiting for someone who left to come back. Stop staring at a door that locked itself shut. Your future isn't behind you, your future is ahead. The problem is, fear makes us freeze at closed doors. Fear convinces us that yesterday was the best it will ever be. Fear whispers, you'll never find better, you'll never recover, you'll never rise again. But fear is a liar. Tomorrow holds possibilities that you haven't even imagined yet. Tomorrow holds people who believe in you, opportunities designed for you, moments that will change everything for you. But you'll never see them if you stay stuck in yesterday. Your future is waiting, but it requires boldness. boldness to move forward when you don't know what's ahead, boldness to take a step when the path isn't clear, boldness to believe in yourself when nobody else does. Too many people wait for certainty before they move, but certainty never comes. What comes is courage, and courage is when you move forward even while you're afraid, even while you're unsure, even while your knees are shaking. You don't have to know every step of the journey, you just have to be willing to take the next one. The moment you move, life meets you halfway. The moment you walk through one open door, another one appears. And slowly, as you keep moving forward, you'll look back and realize the closed doors of yesterday weren't losses, they were blessings. They pushed you to grow, they pushed you to discover, they pushed you into the future you were always meant for. Don't waste your life clinging to what's gone. Don't let your identity be tied to a past version of yourself. You are not who you were yesterday. You are not the mistakes you made, not the opportunities you missed, not the pain you endured. You are who you decide to become today, right now, in this moment. The future is not waiting on your past, it's waiting on your decision. Every sunrise is proof that yesterday is behind you and today is a brand new chance. The sun doesn't rise and ask permission from yesterday's storms. It rises anyway. That's what you've got to do. Rise anyway, even if you've failed, even if you've been hurt, even if you've been counted out. Rise anyway and keep moving forward. The truth is, you can't walk into tomorrow while dragging yesterday with you. You've got to release it. Release the bitterness, release the regret, release the shame. Release the what-ifs and the if-onlys. They don't serve you anymore. Your future is too important to be held hostage by your past. And listen, tomorrow won't be perfect. There will be struggles ahead too. But struggles don't mean you're lost. They mean you're alive, you're growing, you're moving. And every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you're not stuck anymore. You're on your way. So stop staring at the closed doors of yesterday. Stop mourning what's gone. Start moving toward what's waiting. Walk boldly, not timidly. Walk with expectation, not fear, because your future is not behind you. It's calling you forward. Your future is waiting, so stop staring at the closed doors of yesterday and walk boldly into tomorrow. If this message lit a fire in you, don't let it stop here. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs it, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss a word of motivation that could change your life. Remember, failure is not final, your scars are proof of survival, and greatness is born out of struggle, not comfort. Choose discipline over regret, build your future on faith, and keep moving forward, because your tomorrow is waiting. Stay strong, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next video.